Thiccasaurs podcast.
Welcome back to Thiccasaurs episode 133. I didn't do my normal stuff, my normal intro. But
Your hello.
yes.
That one?
No, it's hello.
Yes, the nervous one. But
Cute.
yeah, this is my episode, and these are our hosts. Today is
Melissa.
and
Anna.
Anna and me, Molly, as the main theme today. And I will be talking about I guess you can say my weight loss journey. As I said previously episode that I did a 6 weeks challenge earlier this year, which was like 2 months, about 2.5 months. No, 6 weeks. Yeah, about two months.
Yeah.
About 2 months. So I just decided to talk about my weight loss journey overall, technically, and then gradually getting to the 6 week challenge and what happened there. So I would say I started losing weight, I would say mid 2024. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, mid 2024. And I think at that time I wasn't locked in. It was more of like an experience, just testing stuff out. Because at that time, I think my boyfriend was also losing weight, but he would bring me like once a week to the gym just to like experience stuff and go test out the machines, how the machines worked, while he went off to go do his actual workout. And then at the very end, we would do cardio. And I guess during that time, I think when I was at the gym, I couldn't do cardio that well because my back was like hurting. I don't know if you girls experienced that when you guys walked for like a period of time, your like lower back would start to hurt.
Yes, as a tubby girl, yes.
Yeah,
sometimes,
because I had that like really bad because I noticed it when we go to like walk to places, and I wouldn't be able to go that far without sitting down and resting a lot. And so I think he noticed that too. And I think that what really hit me was when we went to Houston. When me and my boyfriend went to Houston, and we were doing a lot of walking. And I was like, God dang, it's like how many times I had to stop to sit and rest. It was like, was it like 5 minutes of walking, and then I'm like, okay, I need to sit down because it was just pain was just really that bad. And so with that, all I did in the first, I think 6 months, I just messed with the machines. That's also when he started to like interpret me to like count my calories, but I wasn't really doing it. I was just eating whatever. And I think he also was trying to show me at that time. He was also doing counting his calories too, and he was just showing me how it works and everything. But then again, like I said, I wasn't really locked in until I guess in 2025. I think that's when I kind of semi-locked in, I guess. Not fully locked in, but that's when he started implementing me doing some certain workouts. And that's when he initiated that I should start doing the calories deficit, which is very hard because I think it also depends on how much weight you're wanting to lose and then the time span you're wanting to lose. Because I think at that time we were deciding on, because 2024, towards the end of 2024, I think that's when we were I forgot that I told him about the cruise that we were going to do. I was telling him that I also wanted to lose weight around mid 2024. And so that's when he was like, okay, well then you're going to have to like do a calorie deficit just so you can lose weight. So in the beginning, towards the end of 2024 and then early, I think 2025, that's when I started doing the calorie deficit. And then he encouraged to prioritize protein at that time as well. I did lose a good amount of weight from that, but I felt like it only could go so far with the calorie deficit and what I was doing workout wise. And plus the workout portion, I wasn't really into it because I was like, it's something that I didn't like doing just because we were in a public area with a lot of people, which you know us, we don't like the public eye like that or being exposed in the public area. And so with that, we finally were able to do like some kind of routine. And then I think around that time too, I kind of stopped eating carbs, rice. I would say rice specifically. So surprisingly, and that went well. I don't eat a lot of rice nowadays. I also started eating less throughout the day. I would only eat like 2 meals a day. And then surprisingly, we only had cheat days for like special occasions. Towards the end of the 2025, I think that's when he brought up a challenge, which was the 6-week challenge. And at that time, I was already basically doing somewhat of a carnivore keto diet because I only ate like certain things already. He challenged to see if we could do a challenge of a 6-week challenge, which he said it wasn't really strict carnivore diet, but it was a carnivore diet that he wanted to challenge to see if we would be able to do it together and if we can record how our body reacts to everything. Which I was like, okay, let's do it, because I mean, in my head, I was like, it's basically what I'm already doing. The only hard part was I had to take a lot of the side foods away. So like a lot of the vegetables and everything. And then I couldn't snack on certain things at all. And so I was like, that was the sad part. I had to get rid of that. So since we agreed to that, I think towards the holiday season, so that was like November to like December, we kind of just let go and kind of just ate whatever we wanted to eat.
Yeah, it's the holidays.
Yeah, so with those 2 months, we kind of just let go. We ate whatever we wanted, and we also kept track of how that would react with our bodies since we got off track of what our normal stuff was. And so because of that, we recorded a lot of I recorded, I don't know if he did, but when we were doing it, I was just like, oh damn, I forget what all these foods do to you. Although they taste very good, it makes you feel like shit every day. To me at least, since I was on a strict certain diet before that. But overall, from I think the end of maybe mid 2024 to October 2025, I think I lost like 25 pounds.
Wow.
So I was like 220, and then I was like 195 at that time.
Woo!
And then
Imagine us losing 25 pounds.
But then that's within like a year and a half. And plus I think the calories deficit was what kept it in check, was because of the calorie deficit. But the only bad thing about the calorie deficit is that you have to measure everything you eat, and that is like a hassle. Like for me, because I don't know if you remember me, I had to measure everything. I had to make sure everything was right. And then if I went over, I was just devastated, kind of thing. But yeah, it was hard with the calorie deficit because you wanted to eat certain things, and like I wasn't eating clean either at that time. I was just eating whatever as long as I had my proteins and like less carbs is what my main priorities were during the calorie deficit.
Yeah.
And then I gained like a few pounds. I would say I would gain like about 10 pounds within those 2 months of the holiday season. And then I noticed, like a lot of things, because I had a lot of, my brain fog came back towards around these 2 months. And then I got more lazier. I had a lot of cravings and snackings things, because like with all that foods, it made me want me to snack every day, like every hour, and I'm just like, no, Molly, you can't be snacking, kind of thing. And so after that, I think right when luckily he was like, do you want to start on January 1st, or do you want to actually start like on the next day? I was like, we can start the next day, because we're just I'm still suffering from New Year's Eve of what we ate, kind of thing. And so, yeah, that's my journey, at least before the 6-week challenge. And yeah, he wanted to push the 6-week challenge because he also wanted to, what is it? I think he kind of noticed that like the carnivore diet is a good like reset kind of thing for your body. And so he wanted to imply that, because he realized like he wanted us to be healthier rather than being like the gym bro diet where the looks is all what it is. It's just all for looks. Yeah. But he really wanted to be healthier is what it is. Because I think throughout the years through the years that we were dating, I always told him that I always had like medical problems, like with thyroid, and how I was like pre-diabetic. And he's so sweet. He actually looked it up and was looking at stuff that would help with the medical stuff. And so he was just like, this is probably a good thing to start to basically reset your body and try again to put your body in a better metabolic form, kind of thing. So I was like, okay.
Consideration is the highest form of affection.
Yeah, so he was just like, because he did this, I think, on his own too. I think that's why at Grandpa's party he was scrawny. He was like super scrawny
he was super scrawny.
Because he was doing a very strict carnivore diet. Yeah. So with that's how he lost all that weight really quickly. And then so we decided to do the 6 weeks challenge. Did you guys have any other questions or anything before about the journey or about stuff? Sorry, I have his notes that he wrote for me just in case you guys start asking questions about certain things. And he's like, because that's why I was like asking about like the other stuff earlier, because I was about the meeting and stuff, because like he wrote all this down. He was researching all this, and I was like, I need you to come like look at this just to see this stuff. Because this past few weeks when I told him that we were starting the podcast again, he was like, and I told him that I was going to talk about the 6-week challenge. And he's like, I feel like your sisters will ask you about certain things and you probably won't know the answer. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, if you don't mind, I can help you like write the stuff down and have like sources and stuff. And I was like, yeah, if you want. I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, if you want. For the Sagittarius, and he was like, yes.
I'm like, yeah,
please,
but I feel
research.
like I told him like you
do it.
Yeah, I felt like the calorie deficit. It is very tedious, but if it was. I feel like if you're not wanting to like change the foods you're eating, but you're still wanting to lose weight, calorie deficit is probably your best shot of doing it.
You know, since I'm so lazy, if I meal prep and I cook the food ahead of time and just freeze it and then just reheat it, I don't have to wait anymore because I already pre-weighed it.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah, that would be good. But I think that was the tedious part. Yeah, was just measuring everything and make sure everything was tracked. And I mean, I love doing it. I liked doing the calorie deficit because I got to eat whatever I wanted to eat, but I just had to keep track of what I was eating. And then you only can eat just little like parts of it. You wouldn't be able to eat the whole thing, kind of thing.
I was gonna say, do you think it would have been different if you didn't work from home? Because I feel like that was also a big tribute to your success too.
If it was working from home, like I would probably, yes, that would be it. but that would meant that I would probably have to do what I would have to meal prep is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, like me and Anna, we struggle a lot. It's because I feel like there's just more mental game that has to go into it because we gotta meal prep, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. But then since you worked from home when you started it, it was I
Yeah.
feel like it was a little bit easier for you because you had a little bit more freedom.
It was a little bit easier,
A little bit, or no?
but I think it's I would probably honestly think that it would have been a lot easier not working from home because it would mean that you would have a specific day like Sunday to prep for the week, and then everything else you didn't need to prep everything every day. So you all you had to do was grab it from the fridge and then just take it to work or whatnot.
Wouldn't that be the same regardless if you work from home though?
Yeah, but for working from home, you got to kind of like pick and choose what you wanted to eat, and all you had to do was just measure.
I
That's
think
what
it's the same either way because you
Yeah.
still have because technically people who work from home could prep it and they just grab it from the fridge
yeah.
too. So
Yeah, but like it was just more advantage that was like, oh, although you prepped something for you to eat, you have the option not to eat that because you're at home, kind of thing. And so that was like probably the major thing. That was the only thing about the calorie deficit. So you kind of had to plan what you were gonna eat, and then like I know for Melissa when she was meal prepping,
I got tired of that food so fast.
yeah, that's how it was for me. So that's why I'm like with the calorie deficit or with the meal prepping, it's a lot harder. But just seeing when my boyfriend was doing it, for him, food wasn't like an enjoyable thing for him. It was just fuel for him.
Oh yeah, see, like for me,
Yeah.
I feel like meal prep doesn't really go. It's hard for me to get with meal prep because I enjoy actually like making it.
Yeah, making food and enjoying the food. That's
Yeah,
what the-
and so I miss that whenever I'm trying to eat healthy or whatever. Because
Yeah.
if I was able to stay home, I'd be like, okay, I get to cook my lunch today. And
Yeah.
and I like that versus I gotta eat this cold ass meal that I made
I mean
3 days ago.
technically you could just make a variety of like prepped foods.
yeah,
and,
that's- I know
that's,
that.
yeah.
I'm
and
just-
then
Yeah,
well, I was just saying, and then like my idea of meal prep is just like where it's not everything is cooked, and so I still get to cook it. So
Yeah.
like maybe the protein's cooked, but then like I still have to like, are you talking about like during for lunch or for?
No, I'm just saying in general for meal prepping.
Just
like
in general, meal
the
prepping.
fun part of it for meal prepping is like, or just the fun part of meals is like actually making it. I like that part. And so that's what I'm saying. Like if I was working from home, I wouldn't have to meal prep because I enjoy making it fresh and eating it fresh. Versus meal prepping, you do it all on like Sunday.
and then you prep
And
it
then
the
you
week.
prep it for the whole week, and then by like Wednesday I'm tired of the shit because it's just cold food that I made freaking 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, that's how I was with the
And
meal
there's no
prep
fun
idea.
to it
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I meal prep differently though. Mine's not all the same. That's why that's what I was saying. But I know you said that
Right.
yours is the enjoyment of food, cooking it. So
Yes.
since technically in your situation, the only meal that you will be actually cooking is dinner, because for lunch is when you would
Yeah,
have
usually
to
the ones
reheat
that
it.
you have is just
Yeah.
Yeah.
the lunch portion.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, that's why I was like, for me, since I was on the calorie deficit, I kind of just had freedom to eat whatever, like you said. But
Yeah.
it's just
I think that's
the only hard part was since I was on the calorie deficit, I had to, like I said, measure and weigh everything separately. So if I were to like make like a stir fry, I would have to measure the meat differently, separate, and then I would have to measure the vegetables separately. And then with that, then I can combine it all together and put together. But the way certain apps are when you're counting your calories, it's very hard because you have to be very specific. And then over time, with the calorie deficit, you kind of get tired of mixing a lot of your stuff together. So you kind of like to where like you just like me, where I end up just eating straight up meat because I just get too tired to weigh everything.
Yeah.
And so and weigh everything separately, unless it's like like a dish that only has like 2 ingredients. But then you would also like for stir fry, you would also have to measure how much soy sauce or oyster sauce you're using, how much salt you're using, and like the weight of the vegetables, because it also depends if you're weighing the meat when it's raw or also when you're weighing the meat when it's cooked at the same time. And so that was just like a hassle for me with the calorie deficit. And so in the very beginning, I was experimenting, I was just seeing how everything worked, but then gradually I was just like, I just get tired of trying to accommodate to my likes of food, like the type of like how you enjoy eating food like that. But I just got to the point where it's not like necessary just only food is only fuel, but I still want it to taste good and like look good.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to like where like my boyfriend was, where he was just straight up just meat every day, like the same meats every day, and then eating the same thing every day. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I can't do that either.
Yeah, because
I've learned that. That's what Anna said. I can't do the same meal every single freaking day.
Because he'll like make a point. He's like, do you think I enjoy eating the meat, the food I eat? It's like, no, I don't. But it's just something I have to eat in order to kind of
that's sad.
keep it maintained, Yeah, but it makes him. But he's like, although it sucks eating that, but it benefits my body. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel amazing for the day. It keeps him wanting to like. It keeps him going throughout the day. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's motivated a little differently.
Yeah.
I would not be able to do that because I think if I control another aspect of my life that I typically enjoy, I think I will probably binge eat. I will probably be like, fuck it.
That's what I do with my prep food. I was like, F this. I don't really care. This is pissing me off.
I think for yours is you'll probably have to think of like 2 or 3 meals to kind of prep for the week. That way it's always different. And that way you're not like upset with yourself.
That's why like now when I'm like making certain foods, I tend to make them as smaller portions because I know I probably only want to eat it like once a day. And then the next day I probably want something else.
Yeah.
And so he was with the leading to the 6-week challenge. He wanted a diet to where we didn't have to track calories and don't have to worry about that, and we can just eat the amount of we want to eat and then just be okay. And so that's why he wanted also to do the carnivore diet as well, because that honestly that made it changed your food palette and the way you eat drastically. So anything else before I incorporate what we did in the 6-week challenge?
I'm just hungry now talking about food.
Yeah,
I've learned that like my tism, okay, my undiagnosed tism.
God.
Like for some reason, like I think I was not binging, but like I was, using ground turkey a lot, and I'm like, I don't like this texture. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, this texture is making me like, ugh, a little bit, and I don't know what if it was I don't know, but when I had my ground turkey phase, I was like, I can't do this.
I only could eat like so much. It's like seeing him. I think Rod was telling me when he was doing his meal prepping, he kind of got tired of certain meats at a point, and so he kind of avoided those for like a good week or two, and then he'll come back to it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, ground turkey just.
I only tried ground turkey once.
It was like very pilly for me, and I'm like, this is not sitting well in my mouth, and it does not look appetizing to me. And then like sometimes I would like put turkey in like certain salads and stuff, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like how like rubbery it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta go back to chicken or something because this is not doing it for me.
It was funny too because I think around the 2025 era, he was trying to like urge me to try like Greek yogurt because I didn't like Greek yogurt because it had that weird
the tang
at the very end, and that, and also I think it was carbonated water, sparkling water, and I was like, no, like that had that weird, it had like a weird sour salty taste at the very end, and I didn't like it. But even with that, I was just like, yeah, no, I ain't never going to do Greek yogurt. And then here I am over here after the 6 challenge, and I'm like, oh, they're actually not that bad, you know, after your palate changed, kind of thing. But yeah. So going into the 6-week challenge, honestly, luckily he said he was lenient with me on this challenge because he was saying, hearing me from the first week, I was already complaining about how the food was so bland. And so the first week, I was only able to eat just meats only with salt and pepper. And then he had me do some home workouts because I only go with him to the gym like twice a week. And so he implemented some home workouts. Luckily, it wasn't anything like drastic. It was just something like small. And then he had me do like 30 minutes of cardio because we had the little treadmill thing. Mm-hmm. And so he implemented the home workouts and cardio for all the weeks. And then I think, so yeah, first week it sucked because I didn't have anything. All I had was meat, and then all the cravings from the past holidays, those were lingering around a lot, where it was telling me to eat something, like snack on something. But I was like, no, I can't, you know. It's like I'm in this thing, I got it, kind of thing. And it was kind of strange too. Like I think after the first week, your body, like you started feeling your body was very different. So second week it was same thing, meat only, salt, pepper, but then he kind of gave me leeway of using onion and garlic powder. But at that point I was already kind of tired of garlic powder because that's all I used majority of the time prior to the 6-week challenge, because I was already eating a lot of meat by then already. And so it was no difference on the food wise.
Were you able to use regular garlic instead of garlic powder?
Not at this time because since it was a dry seasoning, I was able to use it. But for actual fruit or actual like real vegetables and stuff, I could not have the real garlic thing until I think the week after.
Why?
I think it's because the way he wanted it was he wanted to reintroduce these items back into my system, because like I said, carnivore diet, it kind of forces your body into ketosis, so it switches your body into survival mode. And so when your body's in survival mode, it starts to use all the excess stuff in your body first, kind of thing. And so it was using all like your excess fat and all the other stuff that is not needed in your body to burn that off, kind of thing.
Oh. Did you ever get a headache?
Yes. So while the first 2 weeks, since it was just only meat, he advised it was I needed to increase my I needed to consume more salt and water during this whole thing, because salt plays a big role for your body during this phase, because it uses the salt as was it electrolytes? I'm trying to read it. He gave me some of the notes. Consuming more salt during the carnivore diet, it says, due to electrolyte imbalance. So that was helping your body adjust to the ketosis. So during the ketosis, your body is also readjusting everything else. So like your muscles and everything, so all your muscles were like, oh, I have to work now, kind of thing. So it was like working your stuff up. And when I was doing it, although because I weighed myself once a week just to measure how much I was losing, but like you would also notice that a lot of your parts of your bodies are changing. Like one of them, I've noticed that my thighs were not as chubby, I guess you can say, on the top. You know how we have that little fat little arch on the top. I've noticed that was gone because of during the ketosis. So all that fat disappeared, and then I've noticed when I was putting underwear on, like they were a little snug, is what it was, which kind of threw me off. Because although I was losing fat, my muscles were also readjusting and recompositioning itself to certain areas. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Kinda. I'm gonna say no.
Kinda. I don't know how the body works, so
okay. So
keep going.
So like if you're losing your fat, because of that fat is gone, your body is trying to also, like, since I was also working out, since that fat is gone, they kind of had to. The muscle had more movement and more space to expand. So basically, when I said that I was having a hard time putting my underwears were snug, is also because my muscles were able to expand, and so they were able to work out fully.
I was like, because you're bloating?
No.
I would have thought, because I'm like, because that's a lot of salt.
Because when you're doing the salt, you're also drinking a lot of water. So
okay.
During this phase, during your survival mode, it's also reducing your water weight at the same time.
Okay.
So basically, the reason why you're drinking a lot of water and salt is because you're flushing everything out.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Yes.
And so when I was doing it, I've noticed TMI that your urine it's a lot darker because it's flushing everything out in your stomach and your guts and everything. And then like your TMI again, like your stool and stuff, it changes drastically. So when I was doing it, my stool was more liquidy. TMI, just saying. And so he was telling me that that's a good sign, because that's when your body is trying to push all the bad stuff out right now. So it's flushing everything out, like I said, like a reset. So it's getting rid of everything bad. And then since throughout the week I was reintroducing a lot of stuff, he also said, but keep in mind, your body hasn't had these for a few days and for a few weeks, so you also have to keep track of how your body reacts to all this stuff that you're eating. So like I didn't see any bad things until towards, I think, week 3 was when we introduced the dry seasonings. So that meant like the herbs, like Italian seasoning, paprika, and all that stuff. The only thing is I noticed was the spices. That irritated my stomach, and that gave me a lot of chest pain, like chest burns, heartburn, and that made me bloat a lot. So because of that, we basically determined that I have to kind of be aware of like those spices when I make stuff.
Yeah.
And so with that, I haven't tried. I think I've tried garlic, but that was like till later in the week. Like I think after this, because I think at that time we didn't have garlic cloves at that time. And so I didn't even want to do that. And then week 4 is when we introduced the liquid seasonings, but he specifically only said mustard and like hot sauce and soy sauce. But soy sauce, since we're also trying to aim. He's wanting to aim for an animal based diet at the end, just because it's more healthier on metabolically and hormonal wise. He wanted to like lean towards that, but that's why with the soy sauce he was trying to find an alternative, and I told him about the tamari sauce, which is similar to soy sauce, but I think it's a lot cleaner, and I think it's like gluten free, I think.
Yeah.
And so we introduced that, and then he told me just to be careful and see how my body reacts to that. I didn't have any issues with the tamari sauce. Mustard, I didn't touch mustard because I don't really like mustard on its own like that. So he was just happy that week because he got to eat mustard. And then hot sauce, I didn't eat hot sauce. The only thing I did was that buffalo sauce, and that made, I had a really bad I think, not really, I guess I would call it a bad reaction, because it made my skin very dry, and I had like a hives kind of break out all over my face, and it made my face like really hot. And so I was like, okay, so buffalo sauce is a no for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't do that. He also introduced avocado oil and olive oil, because those are not seed oils, and so he was like, those are safe for you to use, but just also like track what they do to you, see if they're even good for you, just in case. But I didn't have any issues with those either, which is a good thing. So because of that, I had more variety of what I could cook, and so luckily I was like, yes, it's not just salt, pepper, and meat. But I think specifically for strict carnivore diets, I think they usually stick with red meat. But he was allowing me to.
So sorry. Somebody is singing outside of the apartment.
I was gonna go out there and be like, I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss.
Yes, sir. We just heard it. I was just like, I thought it was just me.
Because I'm like, it's cold out there, girl. What are you doing?
Maybe she needs to practice and rehearse.
Probably. But yeah, and so with that, with the tamari sauce and everything, that made me allowed to look up recipes that I could use. And so with that, we also introduced, I think, honey at that time.
Yeah.
So honey, I was just like, thank God, because he was like, try it first though, because some people do have bad reactions with honey after this. And so, but with me, honey is okay, but having too much of it, it will make me bloat. Mm-hmm. And I think it spikes also my insulin, because I think noticed when I first did it, it brought back my night sweats, which only usually happens whenever I eat something sweet now. And so I have to also keep an eye on that. And then by week 5, we were finally able to introduce dairy. So like cheese, milk, all that, heavy cream and all that, we were able to introduce that. And so with introducing all that, we also had a test to see how our bodies reacted to it. For me, I was dairy is fine with me. Cheese, I didn't have any reactions to cheese. So with that, I was just like, yes. And because I had no sweets at that time, besides the honey. Oh, no, never mind. Honey was not introduced yet. Sorry. Honey was not till after the whole 6 weeks, because technically honey is not carnivore friendly at the time. So even with the tamari, I wasn't even able to use it, because I needed to use it with honey, because I wouldn't be able to. I needed something sweet, because I was like, maybe I could marinate with honey and tamari sauce. But then I got rejected by Rod. He's like, no, you can't have honey yet. And I was like, oh, damn it. So that's what I did. We got to do honey, but dairy, but he really wanted to do, wanted us to stay with raw milk or raw dairy, which, I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but it's unpasteurized dairy. And so, it was I think I only know that one place that sells raw milk, so we had to go to that place. I didn't react to the raw milk. Honestly, raw milk wasn't that bad. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you had any difference when you were drinking the raw milk compared to the other milks.
It's been a while since I drank the raw milk, to be honest.
Yeah, because I don't know if you tasted any different. Because I know with Matthew them they said it was very liquid, more liquidy, and stuff, and most people are against drinking raw milk because it's unpasteurized compared to the store-bought milk where they are pasteurized. So I didn't know if you guys had any like thoughts of like raw milk consumption or not. So, your opinion. So, yeah, because he's like, if they ask about that, I got notes for you. And I'm like, I don't think they're gonna go that drastic, but I mean, go for it, you know. But yeah, so then week 6, there was no change. There was no difference. We just stuck with what we had. And so throughout that 6 weeks, I started at, I think, 194 in January. And then February 12th, I was like 188, I think. So I lost like 6 pounds around there. And then with that, I guess I had to go back to my actual like notes. During the challenge, mentally, I think my like I said earlier, where the brain fog really did disappear, and your mood kind of just changes. It's not as like lazy, or you're just, it wasn't happy, I guess, say like happy mood, but you were just more lively and more active is what it was. And it just sucked because I think since I had 2 periods during this whole week challenge, it kind of messed up a lot of the things with what we were doing. So I noticed for at least physically and stuff, what is it, physically, yeah, it was a lot slimmer. I didn't notice it until like maybe like the 4th week, I guess, because I think Dad kind of pointed it out at one point. I think during the midweek of it, and he's like, "You lost a lot of weight," and I'm looking at myself. I'm like, "I did." It's like, because usually when you're doing stuff like the challenge diets like this, you wouldn't really notice it. But I noticed that. Yeah, I was a little slimmer. Sadly, I didn't notice it till later. My sleeps have been a lot better. I didn't have any issues going to sleep or having, what do you call it? Just
insomnia? Yeah.
I didn't have any of that issues during this challenge. Like I said, your face, is a lot, your acne is not as like bad either. Your skin becomes like really smooth and healthier. Let's see, I'm trying to think. My back cramps kind of disappeared for a little bit. You do have a higher libido. I did have a higher libido at that time. Like I said earlier, Rod said I stopped snoring really loud. No, he noticed, they saw that, and I was able to sleep better.
Is it because of the food, or is it just because you just lost weight?
I would say it's probably losing weight, but then also the nutrition, or that also impacted snoring. I don't know exactly about the snoring portion. How that, like, the nutrition and that works. But that's what I just noticed. What we noticed was that I didn't snore with this diet and working out and stuff. But I didn't notice that until he said it. But
was that like later on after the 6 weeks, or was it like,
it was mid 6 weeks? Yeah, so like I said, I don't know. It could be not like portion like majority of like the diet that did it, but I don't know because like I said, I was also working out and my body was basically readjusting and fixing stuff and doing resets and stuff. And then so he told me that was what he noticed, and then he noticed that I was thinking more clearly, and I could, what do you say it? I guess you could say I could speak clearer and not like fumble with my words a lot whenever we talked with each other. And I'm like, that's different though, because it's me and you kind of thing. But I guess he says I sound more confident now when I talk, when I speak, when I talk about certain things. And I don't like stutter and like have second thoughts on what I'm trying to talk about. And yeah, I guess I don't know how you say it, but yeah, I guess he just noticed that I speak clearer and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I can see that a little bit, where your mind is not as clear, or it's a lot clearer, so you can talk better, and so there's something like that. But I guess I noticed that too, where I don't get irritated either. When you like irritability to like a lot of things, to like just simple things, I don't have that anymore. I guess a little more chill, I guess you could say, and I'm not as like reactive to a lot of things. And I guess it just makes you think. You have a clearer mind, you have less brain fog, and it's strange because, like I was saying earlier, where I was nowadays, even after I'm off of work, I am able to have time to do chores and do stuff before actually doing it, like just chilling and playing games or something. I'm able to clean my room, I'm able to do laundry, and then just daily stuff is not like a hassle anymore, or like I don't pull it off anymore. I am able actually to do it with no issues. And I think with the 6 weeks challenge, I think it's actually pretty good, a good thing for me at least. And then menstrual wise, with the 2, I think my menstruals haven't been as bad as they used to be back in the day. I haven't been having a lot of like clots lately, but I do know a lot of like since I had irregular periods before then, I didn't have a lot of like period like symptoms.
You didn't have a lot of period symptoms?
Like
before?
Like being like super emotional, and feeling like the cramps, and then having like just like the normal stuff that you would usually get when you're in your PMS phase. Like before then I didn't really have all of that, but now after like eating right and working out, it's been drastically affected, where like
that could be due to age too.
That too. That's why I'm like, I don't know, because I'm like, sometimes I'll be super emotional over something. Like I told him the other day, I got super emotional because I wanted to eat something for dinner, but I didn't thaw it out in time, so I wasn't able to eat it until the next day. And I told him that, and I started crying because I couldn't eat it.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
It gets worse in your 30s.
Yeah. And then it didn't help that was also because for me, it was my PMS week and my ovulation week. They were basically the same. Like my symptoms were the same, where I would be emotional and stuff. I would still get cramps, and then the same thing with PMS, where it would be the same, but they were like a lot more than I'm used to, kind of thing. And I don't know if that impacted with the 6 week challenge, because that, but for sure with the bleeding and everything, that has drastically changed, because it's since I track it on my phone now, or I've been tracking on my phone, it maintains within the 4 days of my period. Like, it's constant. Like, like it's not like more than 5 days, or it doesn't vary how many days.
Yeah.
So it's consistent of like, usually it's like 4 days, but then, like I said, I don't have heavy periods either, but not to where, but a good amount to where that penny liners is not enough.
Do you think that's due to your health, or is that due to since you're on the pill? Does that make sense? Like,
I would say it
because you've been on the pill for a while now, and so that's why I'm like, so what was the difference when you were on the pill and not on this? Because how your period was versus
the only so for the pill, I did it before.
Yeah,
we did this.
Yes,
during that, yes, I was able to initiate the periods, but I didn't have any symptoms. Like I said, I didn't have like the period symptoms. I didn't have like headaches. I didn't have nausea, or at least severely like that. And then with the diet, I was able to you were more accurate of when your period would actually start and when it would end, and so it actually kind of stick with you. Like, I was able to track it properly compared to the period where you just relied on, I'm the week on the last pink pill, and then this pill, this is where this is. Okay. Which gradually, I think, I would try to get off the pill, but at this point, I'm just like, probably not quite yet. But just to see if that would drastically change, if I can do it naturally on a regular basis, on just having a period regularly without the period, with the birth control. But I think that would probably happen like later in this journey, because right now I think we're more focusing on eating right is what I'm trying to do. And so the periods were good. What else? I'm trying to see. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track. I think, like I said, it also, like, during this whole time, there was that 1 week where we had drastic weather change, and that, like, messed me up really bad. So it was hard to track everything at that time, because I couldn't tell if it was allergies, or I couldn't tell because it was allergies, and then also it was a period week. So there was two factors going on. And then we were also that was week 4. And that was also when we did the hot sauce, the buffalo sauce. So everything was mixed. So that time I was just like, I don't know what's happening to me, because allergies, period, and I ate buffalo sauce. And so I was like, that's something new in my system. So I was like, I didn't know what was happening at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when I was telling you about my face. I was like, I don't know what it is. What does it look like, kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, and then after that, the challenge, it was pretty good. We finally got to eat. We celebrated, I think, on Valentine's Day, where we got to eat. We just got to choose a restaurant that we wanted to eat. But I think the one that we were planning to eat was too busy, so we ended up eating like sushi. And so we went to Memories, and we ate whatever was there, and then we kind of got to see how our body reacted once we fell out of ketosis. And once we were out of that ketosis, you kind of got to see how your body reacted to it. So the next day, me and him were so tired, and our bodies started to ache because our bodies were inflamed because of everything we ate. And so that's why when for your birthday, when we went, I think it was for your birthday. For your birthday, I was kind of cautious, because when you're stuck in this diet, you kind of are hesitant to break it, because you know the consequences of you breaking it, kind of thing. So when at your birthday and we were figuring out what to eat, that's why I was kind of cautious of what to eat, because I was like, I don't want to break it, because I know I'm gonna suffer the next day, which I did. I did kind of suffer a little bit the next day. I had like a major headache. I had my joints were inflamed, so they were really sore. And so that made me feel like it made me feel like crap the next day. But I was like, it was kind of worth it for your birthday. And then so I was like, okay, well then next time I was like, I gotta kind of be aware of what to eat now.
Yeah.
And then after the 6 weeks, that's when we did our cousin's little bridal shop or her dress shopping, and then we went to Cheddar. We went to Cheddar's, and I was just like, couldn't think, because it's like I know this is gonna happen, something's gonna happen, and so I had to be kind of cautious, and I was trying to pick the things that like that wouldn't be as bad, and so but with the restaurants, you don't know what they actually use, like, because seed oils is a major thing that we were avoiding, because that made us it made me bloated and inflamed my joints. So when we ate there, I kind of only ate a little bit of the steak that I got, and then we went shopping after that, and then that's when I noticed I was like, my joints were starting to like throb and hurt, and I was like, oh, it's coming. The inflammation.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So is this how you're gonna live the rest of your life now?
Not with the carnivore diet. I think this was just a good reset for my body. So it kind of gave it like a new thing, so basically I can start from scratch now, kind of thing. But I plan to go on a animal based diet, so I can actually input like vegetables and fruits and stuff, because Rod was like, carnivore diet is good for you, but most people only do it temporarily, because there could be some bad things for most people, but for carnivore diet, most of the time it's beneficial for people who have autoimmune diseases and stuff, because there's a girl that I was telling Anna about that she strictly only eats carnivore diet because that's the only thing that prevents her autoimmune diseases to come back, because she was diabetic, she had thyroid problems, she had all the autoimmune stuff.
Right.
And so with that, she decided to do carnivore diet, and she realized that took away her autoimmune diseases. Although she doesn't like eating or staying on the carnivore diet, and she doesn't like enjoy eating like that, that's the only thing that would keep her like alive and healthy, is what it was for her. So it just depends on how you want.
Right, but I'm asking you, because just the way that you're talking about how when you eat out, you can already feel like the inflamedness, and so that's why I'm like, so does that mean you are not going to be eating out anymore?
No,
like, is this a lifestyle that you're gonna do forever?
It's more of
how are you gonna incorporate?
It's more of like let's see, how do you say it? Like, I would like throughout the week I would stay with what I would prefer to eat, but then like occasionally I'll be okay with eating out, eating stuff. But it's just that because of this diet and stuff, I'm aware of how my body will react, so I just have to be cautious, kind of thing. Which most people say it's okay for you to have like cheat days and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's just remember to just go back to your stuff, your diet and your regular routine right after, kind of thing. But don't.
So then this is gonna be a lifestyle for you then.
Yeah, but not specifically the carnivore diet, but just on a specific on an animal based diet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because animal based diet it's a slightly different, because it's very similar to another diet, which is a paleo diet, but the paleo diet is more of caveman diet, I guess you could say. If you can say it, like I gotta look it up.
It's okay. You don't have to look it up.
Yeah, but animal based, it's just more it's just not me eating ultra processed foods and trying to restrict me eating the processing foods. So like I'll just eat fruits and berries,
more whole foods.
Yeah, like whole foods and cleaner foods. So eventually I do like I would introduce like, the other stuff like pasta. We'll probably introduce that because recently we're just introducing potatoes and stuff, and because we did potatoes the second round this week, and because he felt like we didn't do justice because we did potatoes the first time literally like right after we did this carnivore diet, so our body was just kind of like, whoa. And plus, since potatoes is straight on just carbs, I'm pretty sure our body kind of just freaked out. So kind of like that. And then we also introduced sourdough, which surprisingly my body was okay with the sourdough. So with that, we're slowly introducing everything. So yeah, whole foods is what we're trying to aim for. And even during because of the carnivore diet, I don't eat as much. It really does change your appetite. So throughout back to the carnivore diet, I honestly only ate like once a day around that time, because you don't, when you're in that kind of ketosis, your body, it kind of reteaches your body like you don't eat till like you're like super full. Like your fullness it changes that drastically. So like, you know, when you overeat, how it feels like super full.
Yeah.
It kind of puts you in the mindset of you don't need to overeat. You only eat when your body tells you to eat, kind of. So you get to be able to listen to your body and see what it needs, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So even with me now, I don't eat a lot often. So even with the animal-based diet, like your meal prep, how you were talking about earlier, where you had to make it for lunch, I was saying that at this point where I'm at, if I were to go back in office soon, I would only need to be bringing snacks, like fruits, if I were to, just in case I need something to munch on. But in reality, I think my major food intake will be at home already, so I wouldn't have to meal prep technically for me at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. So because of the carnivore diet, like I said, I don't eat a lot, and so I don't really need that much of food to satisfy, I guess, the hunger. Because usually my hunger, like right now, the hunger is kind of gone already. Because I think your body learns to fast, because during during my 6 weeks challenge, which is not a bad thing if you guys are fasting. Most people, fasting is kind of a good thing because it kind of teaches your body to use what it has already in your body, and to get rid of like the excess stuff that you need or you don't need. So I know for me, I didn't usually eat, because normally I would eat like a big dinner, and then the next day I won't eat till like maybe 10 or 11. But during the carnivore diet, your body is already used to fasting, so I usually wouldn't eat till the next day dinner. But since we're reintroducing everything else now, it kind of, your cravings of having another snack or dinner meal it's kind of triggering in for me. So nowadays I'm eating 2 meals a day, where I'll eat one in the morning and then one in the evening, kind of thing. Which they say from studies, but from conspiracies and stuff, that technically we're not supposed to be eating 3 meals a day. So, but yeah. So eventually I do want to do animal-based diet, just because I couldn't survive in a carnivore diet because I needed my fiber stuff. I needed my stuff. But yeah, surprisingly, I didn't get any constipation either during the carnivore diet. Those were just like my body just took the meat and everything, and they processed it like normal, and I didn't have any constipation, and everything just flowed through. Didn't really have to go number 2 often, but with the carnivore diet, it kind of made you go every time you ate, and that was it. Just so it can make a little room for all the stuff it needed. But yeah, I think that's it for now of how my 6 weeks challenge went and how my weight loss journey is.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Lock in.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I was surprised that I was able to lock in for this, but I think it's just because there was no difference between the 6 weeks challenge to what I was doing before. So in my mind, I was like, I can do it. You know, it's basically the same thing as I was doing before.
Either way, I hope you give yourself enough credit that you improved your overall health, and that includes your mental health too, because obviously I can tell, like, coming into you guys' place here.
Yeah, that's why I was sitting there. I was like, whoa, that's what I know. I'm like, okay, it's like, now I know it's actually working because I'm able to do stuff in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's why I was like, okay, this is weird, but yeah.
Yay.
But yeah, if you guys are too, I do encourage you guys to at least try to do like not even a 6 week challenge, just like a month challenge.
Yeah.
To do it, like some kind of carnivore, just to reset.
I don't know if I'll do carnivore diet, but I do need to do some type of.
Yeah, there are very different types of diets, because I didn't even know about the paleo diet until I looked it up, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm so hungry now.
But yeah, I think that ends my episode and how my weight loss journey and the past 3 months went. So, yep, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And if you guys do want to challenge nutritional wise, you guys can always try the carnivore diet. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Okay, bye. Bye.